All right, how do I sound? Let me get back to whoa, womp womp womp, babe, babe, boom boom boom, womp womp womp. Sound good? How do I look, yellow man? I take it also good. That wasn't me stimming. I was actually asking, how do I look? I look like a nerd. All right, first of all, shut up. Um, Before I get into anything else, I need to go on a mini rant and get it all out of my system. Okay. Um, so I did a whole run through of the Predator franchise, and Drayton, I'm ready to rank it. I'm ready to give my take on these movies. Um, all right. So when it comes to the first one, surprisingly decent. I didn't hate it. I thought it was cool. Obviously, it's the first of the franchise. You know, establishes a lot of the tropes that get repeated later on in the Predator franchise. It was a. Oh yeah, I'm getting to the autism one. It was interesting. The second Predator, I actually liked it more than the first one. The way I feel about the second Predator, it's like I feel like it's like the perfect follow up to the first one in terms of coming up with an original way to play with the main idea of the plot and the story of the first one. Because in the first one, you know, obviously it's the jungle, and then in the sequel they go concrete jungle, and it's like actually pretty decent, right? I thought it was cool. It dragged on way too long in the third act, but concept wise, I feel like it was a good follow up, and I think I would recommend the first one only to watch the second one. But like in terms of which one I enjoyed more, I would say at least in the beginning part of it, before it got a little too slow and boring and it just kept going, was the second one. Okay, and then there's which one is this? Hold on. I gotta double check my. Predators movies. Okay, if that's Aliens versus Predator Requiem, Prey, Predators, The Predator. Okay, so this must be the first Alien versus Predator. Gotcha. So the first Alien versus Predator, I would say, and it's an acceptable waste of time. It's not bad, but it was, you know, like I'm sorry. I had a really hard time getting over the acting in that one. It was just a bit. I could tell there was a lot of ADR, which makes sense given the set that it looked like they were shooting on. But it really killed the immersion for a lot of moments for me personally. And then the ending too is like, what? Okay, sure, why not? But for what it is as a blending of franchises, it's not bad. Okay. Um, and then I skipped Alien versus Predator Requiem. I was told by everybody it's the worst in the franchise and not even to bother with it. So I didn't watch that, but I watched all the others. And then after Alien versus Predator Requiem, we have Predators. I really liked Predators. I thought it was cool. I thought it was interesting. It's one of the better ones of the franchise. I don't know if I'd call it a must watch per se, but it's A tier for me. Um, and the cast is stacked, surprisingly. It's got Adrian Brody. It's got Marshala Ali is in it. I guess. It's got Danny Trejo is also in it. Let me go Predators movie cast. I always forget her name, but Alice Braga, very talented. I think she's Latin American, if I'm not mistaken. Brazilian actress and film producer, yeah. But I think she plays an Israeli ex-military or maybe current military person in this movie. Walter Goggins, Topher Grace, Lawrence Fishburne was in it too. Like this is a surprisingly stacked cast in this movie, and I would say overall decent. I would say it's better than Predators 2. I would recommend it to people over Predators 2. It was more interesting, and the acting was significantly better, in my opinion. I think it. I don't know if it's a Predator specific thing or if it was maybe just some of the directors that took on the franchise after those first two, but like Predators and then The Predator feel like they have a distinct edge that they're trying to go for, like edginess with some of their like human cast. And it's kind of cringe sometimes, but at least The Predators, it was very unoffensive, or not very inoffensive, but the least offensive of the two that had that kind of tone. And then we have The Predator. This is garbage. Don't ever watch this movie. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's so terrible. So I watched it last night because it was the last one I had left. I have seen everything else. And, bro. I understand wanting representation in media. I'm all for it. I'm big on ADA. I'm big on minorities being cast. I'm a huge fan. However, if you're going to add representation, please, for the love of God, make it good. Make it good representation. So, spoiler alert, the rundown essentially of the Predator is that like the main guy that first runs into the alien, he like steals some of the alien tech when the ship crash lands on Earth and then ships it off to his house for some reason. And then his kid, who is autistic and is sensitive to loud noises and gets bullied at school. By the way, that is it. In terms of like autistic characteristics on display, the kid is like relatively blunt in various scenes. He's sensitive to loud noises, and he's a loser nerd who gets bullied at school. That was the characteristic traits for his autism. That was it. We stopped there, right? Anyways, the kid picks up the weapon and then just starts diving into all this Yautja tech, and he just understands it, right? And he understands it because he's autistic. That's like the whole premise there. And it's like, all right, sure, why not? Anyways, we fast forward, and it gets even worse because there's other characters. There's like a guy who like is allegedly has Tourette's in it, except for his Tourette's disappears after the like first like 15 minutes he's on screen for some reason. Like, sure, why not? I don't care. We're just making stuff up as we go. There's also a guy who's like suicidal, but in like a devil may care kind of way. So it's like he's actually really cool suicidal guy. Like, bro, what? What is it? What? And it's so funny to me that because he was played by, oh my gosh, I forget his name. Trevante Rhodes plays this like super suicidal guy who's just like suicidal but in a fun way in this movie, which is crazy given that like this is in my top 4 like favorite movies of all time, and he's the lead for that. But anyways, gotta start somewhere, right? This Predator movie is so dark. It's so dark. And I feel like a lot of it has to comes down to like the characters and the representation, honestly. Like the story wasn't horrible. It was interesting. There were elements that very, very much felt like shoehorned in or like, broke your illusion a little bit because of how they were written. But it's like, all right, I mean, I guess. But this kid with autism, oh my gosh, it was just so. It's like, and then there was also like a whole part in the story where like these ex-convict guys that were like, former military, this whole gaggle that the dad runs into while being like shipped off by this like, secret tech company, whatever you want to call it. They like have this thing where like they're all like in the loony bin in some sort of way, and then they're like casually like saying like, oh, retard, this, that, or whatever, and then the dad is like, hey, can you chill on that? And then like they meet his kid later on when they run, meet up with the kid and everything, and then they say it again at some point, and I think they make reference to it where he's like, hey, don't use that word. That one autism movie Sia made, but just with the predator aliens in it. I actually have never seen the autism movie Sia made, but from everything I've heard of it, that is pretty on par. That is pretty on par from everything I've heard of it. But they make a comment about like, yeah, are you retarded or something? And then like the dad's like, hey, watch it, don't say that word. And then the guy's like, oh yeah, my bad. Yeah, don't say that word. His son's retarded. And okay. Then now I have to take a little pause and ask the audience, because I'm a little confused on some of this stuff. In my brain, autism somebody being called autistic and somebody being called a retard are two separate things. And I'm assuming it's like an older person thing of like the insult of retard being used for autistic people. I'm assuming, because I feel like I've seen it a lot in older movies, but like, at least in my brain, when I think of autism, my mind goes to like savants before it goes to like the severely like mentally and physically handicapped side of the spectrum. Like when I hear autism, I'm thinking of Rain Man and not I Am Sam. And I think that's played by the same guy even in both of those movies, isn't it? Yeah, Rain Man and I Am Sam. Oh, never mind. Different guys. Or not. Wait. Who is this? Sean Penn? All right. Who plays Rain Man? It's definitely not Sean Penn. Who is this? Dustin Hoffman. Okay, Dustin Hoffman and Sean Penn. Yeah. But, like, my mind goes to this version of autism before it goes to the like I Am Sam version, and like that's not to say that they don't have their their ups and downs, but in general, like my mind doesn't click to like the word retard with autism. Autism used to be considered a form of retardation. A lot of people still believe Leo DiCaprio's character in Gilbert Grape is autistic instead of mentally challenged. Interesting. Okay. That would make sense. Yeah. But that's why like the insult being levied against like autistic people has never really made sense to me. It's because like in my brain, like, well, like autism is a different thing than, the classification, the archaic classification of retardation. But it was like edgy in that way as well too. And like, I don't know, I'm fine with like edginess in movies as long as it's not corny. But this movie was so corny about it in so many different ways. It was like, oh my God, this is almost unbearable to watch in a lot of ways. And it was like, I get where they were trying to go with some of the autism stuff, where it's like, it was kind of like one of those like autism is a superpower kind of vibes to it. But like, I just feel like it completely fell flat. And in a way, my takeaway was like, all right, so he's just like a loser nerd that's sensitive to like loud noises and can just read alien technology because autism. Like, it just felt like it was like, somehow I feel like I would have just been like given what the movie was trying to do, I could have like the message felt like it was just like a backhanded diss to autism, which people can be autistic and mentally challenged, but they're different things. Low functioning autists get conflated with mentally challenged people too sometimes. True. Yes. And the best autistic representation, in my opinion, is always unintentional representation. Yeah, because I feel like once they get in their head that they're gonna try to represent autism, it's forcing a lot of things that kind of feel way off base. Like Amelie is very much an autistic character in my mind. True. And then not even just Amelie. Hold on. I feel like nearly all of the cast in like half of these Wes Anderson's movies are like exclusively autistic. I haven't seen this one. Which one have I seen? For example, Fantastic Mr. Fox. I feel like there's a very compelling case to be made that. Come on. Ash gotta be autistic. Christopherson, maybe. It's hard to say. Kylie, probably. Rickety the Field Mouse. I don't even remember this guy. Yeah. Ash is on he's somewhere on a spectrum. It may not necessarily be autism, but I mean, just his whole vibe. His whole vibe in this entire movie, I don't know how you could come away with that takeaway that that's a well-adjusted, like socially well-adjusted kid. No autism there. Like, no, there's some autism for sure with Ash. What's the other movie that comes to mind? I feel like there's another of his movies that always make me think of like autistic characters. It might be Moonrise Kingdom. From the clips that I've seen of Moonrise Kingdom. Characters. This kid Sam gives me major autism vibes. I don't know if he actually is in the context of the story because I haven't seen it yet, but he gives me major autism vibes from all the clips that I have seen of it. But like, that's not even necessarily Wes Anderson trying to write an autistic character. I honestly, a big part of me feels like Wes Anderson is just, he's just writing from experience, and there's no way that guy isn't autistic. There's no way he's not. All of his characters just give autistic vibes. Absolutely. Socially awkward with weird niche interests. Yeah. And there's definitely more to autism than that. But like, it definitely, like, there's autistic traits that show up in a lot of his characters throughout all of his movies. And some of them, there's enough of those traits where it's like, no, that character's probably autistic. And I feel like there's better representation there when it's like he's not even necessarily trying to write those characters in that way than there is in some of these movies that explicitly try to present autism in as accurately as possible. Characters in movies. Okay, so I definitely said movies, and half of these are not movies. Hold on. Rain Man. What's Eating Gilbert Grape? The Accountant. Oh, yeah! I forgot The Accountant was one of those movies that was like autistic savants, like, type story beats. Was not a fan of it, but I know it tried. Anyways, enough about autism. This movie sucked. The Predator, terrible. Not a fan. Would not recommend. Prey, however, I love Prey. So the last 3 Predator movies have all been directed. Okay, Marion Max is good. Rep, I fuck with it. What is Marion Max? I've never heard of this before. Are they both autistic? Enough about autism. Back to Predator autism. True. I thought you meant the bunnies. What bunnies? No, just the guy. Okay. Wait, Drayton, what bunnies? Oh, same director as Memoir of a Stale. There's a show with an autistic bunny. Yo, I had no idea that this show. I've never watched this show. I didn't know. Yo, hey, yo, what is with this insane search result? What the? Oh my god, this is a kids show. Yo, he's nonverbal in the show. Okay, interesting. I don't think I need to. I don't think I need to look this up anymore. I think we've seen enough. That was what the, what on earth? What was that? Okay. Anyways, that's a crazy pull to have pop up from everything else. Um, Going back to predator autism though, I feel like there's a number of ways this movie could have been made better, including deviant art is an evil place. True. Oh my gosh. Um, I feel like the predator autism kid could have been made better by a not having that be the whole plot point for why the predator alien that showed up wanted him in the first place. That was stupid. That was ridiculous. B, the dad was like a dad, military guy, hardcore, whatever, badass, devil may care character, and it was annoying, and it was like kind of whatever. Like it was just, I don't know. His character wasn't super compelling, and he was the lead, so it was like whatever. But everything else in that movie had elements of being interesting, but the other thing too is that it was like it took itself too seriously. Like if it had been like just a little more unserious and willing to like mess around with the fact that like it was like, I mean, just read this plot, man. This is stupid. Let's just have fun with it. It could have been a campy banger. Like it's like there's like the quality, if the quality of a movie is a scale, right? And then there's like a level of seriousness as well too. Wait, actually, I'm gonna connect my little whiteboard because I need to draw this out. I feel like that's the best way to accurately describe or accurately portray what I'm about to describe. All right. Yeah, man. Wait, why did that move? Move it back. All right. If we have a graph that plots quality and seriousness, there is movies that are completely low quality that also don't take themselves serious. And then I guess we could plot the enjoyment factor as a graph, right? So if you have a good movie, or no, actually, this needs to be inverted. Hold on. This would make more sense inverted. Seriousness. Quality. So we have movies that don't take themselves seriously and they suck. And they actually end up being a lot of fun. So I guess they would be... Wait, hold on. Okay, I need quadrants. There we go. Yeah, I need quadrants. That's what's going on. So we have movies that are not serious and low quality, um, and those are fun. Have a great time with those movies. And then we have serious movies that are extremely high quality, um, and those are also ho art, right? Great, enjoy. Maybe we get a little inquisitive with it, right? Where it's like, oh, ho, ho, you're making me think. Serious movies that suck, trash, absolute garbage. Um, and the main reason being that like it takes itself too seriously, right? And then you can also have non-serious movies that are high quality, and that can also be enjoyable. But then there's like a weird thing that happens where if you make a movie that is supposed to be high quality, right? So we're supposed to be like somewhere here, um, but it takes itself too seriously. But then like the quality tanks, then you end up here instead, which is a huge bummer. The epitome of this is probably Everything Everywhere All at Once. I would say Everything Everywhere All at Once is a movie that is high quality and doesn't take itself seriously, except for when it needs to. But then it ends up being like absolute peak as a result, as a result of it. Um, an example of a movie that's like like everything in here, I would say the low quality, it doesn't take itself seriously. That's where Camp is. Um, I would say Academy movies are usually up here, where they take themselves super seriously and they're really like well made. Um, and then your box office flops are right here. Movies that were trying to take themselves super seriously and the quality absolutely fell through. Whether that be because of the actors or the plot and the writing or the way it was shot, the cinematography and the editing and everything. Whatever the case might be, you can tank your movie. But where you're trying to make an Academy movie and then your quality's not there and you just make garbage instead. But if you have a movie that's like high quality garbage, or not garbage, but like high quality, but it doesn't take itself too seriously, I feel like this is where you get some of like your classic comedies. Like, and not necessarily quality as in like it's well made, but quality maybe in terms of like budget. Yeah, maybe that's a better way to put it. That it's not necessarily quality is what we're talking about, but in terms of like how much your budget is reflected in the final product. Um, bing, bing, bing. Wait, Scott Pilgrim was a box office flop, and I think it's good. That's true, but in my brain, that would be like here for Scott. Or hold on, it didn't make that much money. Yeah, to me, Scott Pilgrim, I would say is a camp, and it was a box office flop. But like, I guess in my brain, when I'm thinking of box office flops, I'm not thinking of movies that become cult classics later on. And there's a lot of movies that were even like there were a lot of even Academy Award movies that were absolute cinema when they came out and won Academy Awards, but they absolutely choked at the box office. When I'm saying box office flops here, I'm more specifically referring to movies that did terrible at the box office but were expected to do really well and then never ever became anything else afterwards. They stayed box office flops. There are a lot of movies that were ahead of their time, so to speak, and so everybody hated it when it first came out, and then afterwards they were like, wait, that was actually peak. I think a lot of Kubrick movies have that trajectory where they came out and people hated it. I think A Clockwork Orange was a box office flop initially before people realized what it really accomplished, and everybody's like, wait, that was actually really good. And there's a lot of I think pressure in Hollywood to steer away from certain ideas or dialogue or conversation within movies. because of the fact that they'll say like straight up, it's like, hey, audiences aren't gonna get it, man. You shouldn't make this movie. Audiences aren't gonna get it, and it's like, well, too bad. It's a good movie. I'm gonna make it anyways. But yeah, in your cult classics, I would say will be in really any of the categories except for this trash category. Um, Cult classics. Well, maybe not necessarily. There are a few cult classics that take themselves super seriously, but they're not good, and that's like part of their charm. The Room, for example, a notoriously bad movie that did take itself really seriously, and it was horribly, horribly made. I would say would also exist in this category here. Anyways, that's just to express my feelings on what this movie could have been, because I feel like if it had taken itself less seriously, it could have been camp. I mean, it actually would have been actually really fun to watch, but it didn't do that. It didn't achieve that. Anyways, going back to the rest of the tier list, though, I would say Prey, solid. No, Ruby's Peak, what do you mean? Well, you know what? I haven't seen it yet. I've only heard the legend. It's the wake it's left in Razzie Awards is all I know of it. So maybe it is peak. Maybe I need to watch it. Anywho, Prey was solid. I remember Prey was actually the first Predator movie that I watched, and I'm glad it was, because I don't think I would have given the rest of the franchise a shot had that not been the first one. Honestly. Yeah. Did we watch Prey on a road trip? We watched Prey on the road trip. It was when we got to Denver. It was either the second night that we got to Denver or the first night that we were in Denver. Or the second night we were in Denver or the first. I want to say it was the second night we were in Denver, because the first night I went out with Maddie. So I think it was the second night. But, yeah. Because I think you'll remember later on when we got to like Washington, I made that whole like Thunderbird joke. I don't even remember what I said anymore, but it was absolutely cracked us up in the car that night. You were out for a long time that first night, LOL. Yeah, I mean, probably. We went to like I think 3 or 4 different spots in town. It was pretty sick. A night out in Denver. Yay. But yeah, I don't even. Do you remember what my setup and everything was for that joke? Because I don't remember it. We were dying after that joke. I don't remember what I said anymore, but I remember it being absolutely hilarious. Because I'm just that funny guy. But yeah, we watched it at I think the second night, and I was asking all those questions because I hadn't seen a single Predator movie, so I didn't know anything about the franchise. So you were like catching me up on some of this stuff and explaining how dope it was, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. While watching, because like I think you mentioned that was like your favorite Yautja design in the franchise so far. Yeah, because this mask right here is crazy. All I remember in Washington is a fire, some awkwardness with Lillian's family, good Korean food, and absolute terror. Drayden, I want you to know every time I tell the Wendy story, and specifically when I tell it to somebody who is either Native American or has Native American family, they tell me I was the meanest, most cruel person ever on that ride. It's really funny, though. It's really, really funny looking back. In the moment, No, not funny at all. But looking back, it's kind of a hilarious story. But I remember this Predator's design you were a huge fan of. And admittedly, this one looks dope. Terrifying, but dope. Um, Where's the other pictures of it? Yeah. Compared to some of the others. Oh, it's absolutely hilarious. But God, were we scared driving back, although I'll hard agree. Yeah. I don't remember if it was just the one Predator in this one or if there were two of them. I think it was just the one. I feel like I only remember it being the one. But I thought this one was super dope. Yeah, I love the fact that the helmet is like bone as well too, and I think it's the helmet at the head of another predator. No, it kind of looks like one. Still the best design. I would actually disagree, but in terms of live action, I do. It is the best design, live action wise. Um, Now that actually brings me to my next one, Predator: Killer of Killers. Absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. Very big fan of Predator: Killer of Killers. It feels like a setup to a show, so I kind of hope to see more from the creator of it to do more on Predator: Killer of Killers, or just like exploring the Yautja universe more thoroughly. And I would say that like it is very useful. It's not required, but it's very useful to watch Predator: Killer of Killers before going into Predator: Badlands. Honestly, before even going into Predator: Badlands, you could just watch Predator: Killer of Killers and completely understand what's going on within the universe of Predators. It's really cool. It's really dope. And a friend of mine told me that the director for Prey is the same one who made Killer of Killers and Badlands. And so there's certain references in Killer of Killers, or there's one like little teaser, I should say, or Easter egg in Killer of Killers that references back to Prey at the very end of it. And then a lot of like the setup in Killer of Killers is used in terms of like how their society looks and everything is used in Badlands. So I thought that was really, really cool. Right now, I think that like the Predator franchise is eating good. They're at their best right now with these last three movies being directed by this guy. Or yeah, movies being directed by this guy. Predator: Badlands, solid A tier. Maybe on rewatch, I would give it the S tier for, not as a movie, but specifically as a Predator movie. Huge fan of the new one so far. I thought it was cute. It was straightforward. It was, it got the fundamentals, I think, down pretty good in terms of like story, and making the story interesting and fun and engaging. So I was a big fan of it. But I'd say give it a watch, and form your own opinion. Of course, form your own opinion. But yeah, done with the Predator franchise. Now, something I will say about the Predator franchise is that it does not hold a candle to the Alien movies. Alien movies clear the Predator franchise. Absolutely clear. I would say Alien 1, S tier. Alien 2 is S tier. Alien 1 is A tier. Alien 3 is dog. Alien... Which one is this? Is that Alien Resurrection? Yeah, it's Alien Resurrection. I don't even know what was going on in this movie, but I remember it being a fever dream. I could have told you that, and I haven't seen any of the Predators. Well, I just wanted to check it out. I was wondering if there's at least one gem in the Predator franchise. And to be fair, they both have their weak points, but I think Predators just has more. Plus, they have the movies, the combo movies. Alien vs. Predator, C tier. Requiem, allegedly D tier. Don't know yet. I can't say for sure because I haven't seen it. The Predator, D tier. Wait, if this is Prometheus, what's this one? Prometheus. Covenant. Right, okay, that one's Covenant. Put Alien in S tier right now. It's good. I think it's cool. I enjoy it very much. But I think that like Predator Alien 2 built on that and surpassed it. That's all I'm saying. And so I feel very confident with an A tier Alien, but I would say I think Aliens 2 is S tier. Prometheus. Oh, wait, I can't remember. Did I like Prometheus more or Covenant? I think I liked Prometheus more. I would put Prometheus in A tier, Covenant in B tier, Romulus in A tier, the first Predator, B tier, Predator 2, A tier. Well, given this list, honestly, I would put Predator 2 in B tier then. They're both on the same level. The atmosphere in the first one is unmatched, though. That is true. The atmosphere in the first one is really, really well done. I would say it's a hard A, soft S for me. Hard A tier, soft S tier. Prey, A tier for sure. Predators, B tier, but among the better ones. Killers, S tier. Badlands, A tier. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. And what are you going to do about it, huh? And what are you going to do about it, paisano? What does that even mean? I'm not saying an Italian slur, am I? Paisano? Nope. Inhabitant of the city of Pisa, Italy, or related surname. A person from the city of Pisa, Italy. Oh, countrymen or fellow countrymen. Okay. Gotcha. I think that's how I'm using it. I can't believe you just called me a slur. Hey, I got better ones for you. But yeah, I would say this is my rankings on the Alien franchise thus far. How I feel about the movies. There might be some that I would make adjustments to, but yeah, the Predator definitely is where it's belong. It definitely is where it belongs, because that shit was trash. That was garbage. But I needed to do that mini rant before I started the rest of my story. Oh, speaking of, because I've been kind of thinking about this. Because now that I'm transitioning over from the storyboarding part of things to the writing part of things, I was wondering if I should do like a little intro class into script writing, like what software I use and kind of how the script writing structure works and stuff like that. But I don't know if anybody would be interested. Mini rant, and it was 40 minutes. Yeah, imagine what my full length rants are. I get ticked at somebody and I write them a full essay. So imagine what my real rants are. I think I need to add a additional. Oop, whoopsie. We need to add a new window. You sure you're not on the spectrum, dog? I don't think so. I really don't. I don't think I missed any of the developmental markers for autism. Not to say that all autistic people have to miss their developmental markers, but like they exist for a reason. And I feel like the ones that I maybe do miss or skip over, if you will, are probably ADHD related more so than autism specific. But hey, what do I know? I'm not a psychologist. The Nile is a river in Egypt. Your husband is gay. The Nile is a river in Egypt. Your husband is gay. I'm just very passionate about stuff. I'm just very locked in. That's all. Let's see. I think it's Stark. That's what I use right now. Where is it? Dialogue is a necessary evil. Fred Zinnemann. He might be right with that. He might be cooking with that one, honestly. All right, it's a screenplay. Let me add that window, actually. Window capture. Okay. How do I fit this in here? All right. I should have done this ahead of time. Whoopsie. Whoopsie. Okay. And then drag that down here. There we go. All right. Okay. We don't have a name for this project yet. So I'm not sure what to call it. Stream movie for now. Stream movie script. Short description. A lost soul falling through realities. Meets an unlikely ally. I love those corny synopsis. I love those like corny synopsis tropes when they do that. Meets an unlikely ally and goes on an adventure. Those always crack me up. Blah, blah, blah. I really, to be honest, I'm so terrible at coming up with a quick way to summarize what stories mean before I'm done with them. Like I feel like I need to have like the whole project complete before I can start to like piece together. Oh wait, I think I want to add this piece or this element, etc., etc. I struggle with that. So I think what I mentioned the last time. Let me check my notes here. Because I thought I had an opening scene. 1 to 2 seconds of 1 to 2 seconds. Yeah, 1 to 2 seconds shots of diverse eyes. I guess I should probably relink the doc for everyone to follow along. 1 to 2 second shots of a diverse set of eyes. While voiceover talks about something profound, like knowing where you are because you were born from the stars. I'm a big believer in placeholders when I write, because otherwise I will never get anything done. Let's see. I actually don't know. All right, we can do interior, exterior, I believe. Whoa, why is that all the way over here? My screen is bugging. Hold on. Okay, there we go. I might not do interior, exterior. Opens to... All right. Opening scene. But brief flashes of a variety of different eyes. Brief close-up flashes. And I was thinking of either having like a bunch of different narrators, like say all the parts to this one line, so as to suggest that like it's coming from, you know, like it's chopped together from a bunch of different people's like other quotes, or maybe they're all saying the same thing and it's just all being cut together, or it could just be one person talking the whole way through. But I think I'm going to stick with the multitudes thing because I think it kind of like adds to the what's the word? The suspension of the belief that like we're not standing still in one place in reality, in whatever's going on in the story. Um, Different people's voices. The human experience. So whatever deep thing that they come up with, it'll come to me in the shower. Most of my great ideas manifest when I'm in water of some kind. So I'll have to ponder on that. But that's the setup for now. And then we would be transition, cutting to interior. Wait. Because it goes me versus me versus others, me versus society. Okay, yeah. So then we'd be cutting to the scene in the school, I believe. Yeah, writing submission scene. Oh wait, let me switch back to the. There we go, so you can see what I'm writing. School hallway. Is this where I add the hyphens? Dang, it's been a while since I've done this. I think I should do interior. Yeah, day. Main character. Okay, actually, quick pause on that. I'm gonna need to come up with a name because it's gonna drive me character not crazy not having the main character's name if I keep writing any further. Baby names. This is one of my favorite websites. I use this a lot. Name of the day, Warda, meaning rose. Who's naming their baby Warda? Name Warda is a primarily female name of Arabic origin. That means dang. That would make sense. I mean, Warda's a cute name. The main character's not gonna be Warda. Technically, the main character has a bunch of different names in theory. Or no, this is gonna be like the name. And I've thought about a couple different routes I want to go with the name. Now that I think about it, so I believe in our notes, main character's vibes: they're tired, anxious, depressed, and overwhelmed. Stressed about the future, struggling with feeling like they're behind in life, and they want to know who they are. They're between 16 and 35, Gen Z / millennial. They only wear black, white, and gray in the beginning with no color, because they don't know who they are yet. And color is another one of those like elements of the story that we're playing with to kind of demonstrate their character arc. But then after spending time with the mentor, they start trying out different colors. Name them Max at this point. I mean, I'm not opposed to that, honestly. I like the idea of them having I like the idea of them having like, because there are going to be like, yeah, it has to be gender neutral. I think just because it makes the character more relatable to a wider group of people. Like anybody should be able to see themselves as this main character. If any of the other stuff that the main character is experiencing sounds familiar to them. But I've gone back and forth on if I want it to be a thing where the main character's name stays the same, and then that's kind of like another thing that we have to connect the main character throughout the story. And then maybe the mentor always changes, or maybe they both change, but then there's something else about them that stays the same. But if they do have the same name, like maybe it's just every different version in reality of somebody who's been named whatever the name of the character is. And then, like, I'm fine with that, but I've been trying to think of, like, okay, if that's the route I'm going, I think the name needs to in some way represent that, like, they're not really settled in who they are. Or it could be a name that has, like, a bunch of different nicknames. In which case, like, they're like, they're, John, Johnny, Johnny Boy, Johnson, J Boy, J Dog, whatever you want to call, like, some, for example, just as an example, just something where it could have a lot of nicknames, and maybe they haven't made up their mind. Maybe like Rain. I don't know if that's too gay though. That's funny. Cause wait, I feel like at some point I had a mental note of like something about their names being opposite of each other or mirroring each other in some way. Where did I write that? Was that in here? Wait, let me check my Notion. Because I may have put it in my other writing tools. How to Kill a Spirit. Griot, simulacra, sketches, pitches. I guess not. All right. Because rain is water and water always changes. Oh, okay. I see where you're going with that. Something to do with change in some way. Let's start with Rain. Neutral, American, abundant blessings from above. Primarily a gender neutral name. Rain Wilson, Rain. People who like the name Rain also like Oliver, Liam, Elijah, Aiden, Gabe, Finn would be a good one. Uh, Grace, Roar, Violet, Lily, Charlotte, Scarlet, Luna. Names like Rain. Remy, maybe? None. Gender neutral name, French origin. That means oarsman or remedy. Remigius? From either the name Remigius, oarsman, or the name Remedius, remedy. Remigius is a bonkers name. Declan. What does Declan mean? I feel like right now I'm speed running top 100 trans names. I feel like that's what's happening right now. Declan. Primarily male name. Irish origin, full of goodness. You're not wrong. Yeah, because some of the other ones I'm seeing on here, like Finn, Grayson, and then going back here, where were they? Jasper, Felix, Genevieve, Scarlett, Violet, Olivia, Amelia, Ava. I mean, like, yeah, there's a trend. There's that trend. But that's where I'm looking, so. I do like Declan, though. 10,000 gender neutral names for your consideration. Beautiful. Oh, Acorn, bruh. Living their kid Acorn. Addison, Aiden, Adler, Abercrombie. That's what I'm saying. Some of these names are bonkers. Who's naming their kid Abercrombie? And apparently it's gender neutral and Scottish. Keto, Nero, Felix, Oliver, Liam, Cato, Acacia, Draco, Glockmother. Arcadia, Audrey. I do like Cato. If I meet a kid named Acorn, I'm shoving them in a locker. Real. There are consequences to naming your kid bad names. Primarily a male name of African, East African origin that means second of twins. Oh, okay, Cato. Corbin, Caden, Oliver Side. I don't want to go with any of the Aiden names. I feel like the Aiden names are just so overdone, but I might not have a choice. I'm just not a fan of the Aiden names. You know, Caden, Jaden, Braden, Hayden, Aiden, Caden. Like every single one of them is just like the same. Raiden, you know. It gets old fast for me. Sophia, Kiara, Katniss. Abercrombie is such a goofy name. Raiden would be hilarious, though. It really would. 8X. Raiden D's nuts. Oh my gosh. Adler. Adobe. Arrow. Apron. Africa. Who's naming their kid Africa? Bruh. These are made up. These are so made up. How many kids in America were named Africa? And here's my kid, the Thunder God. He's depressed as hell. That'd be really funny. Actually, then, we might have the pull from mythology. To be fair, kids get named America sometimes. Yeah, that's true. In Asia's that is true. I mean, I guess maybe there's some like you know westernized bigotry that I think it's weird to name a kid Africa but not America or Asia. Maybe there's some. Yeah, you're just racist, Kobe. Well, I am, but Hold on, now I gotta think of. Gotta do a deeper search. Miserable people in mythology. Okay. Oisies. Achilles. Sisyphus. Imagine the kid is named Sisyphus. That's the main character. The main character is named Sisyphus. Oh my gosh, that'd be so funny. Medea has a sad story. Arachne, Narcissus, Achilles. It would be a little too odd to know, but it'd be really, really funny. Okay, these are all Greek. Anybody else? Greek mythology's dangerous half women. Orpheus and Eurydice. Also a little on the nose. Echo and Narcissus. Oedipus, Icarus. Hyacinthus? Hero and Leander. Oedipus goes hard. Oedipus is a banger name. But give them mommy issues too. Hey, maybe we throw that in there. Maybe we do the whole 9 yards. Gender neutral Oedipus. Saddest myth you've come across r/Greek mythology. Birth of Artemis and Apollo. Whole story of Cassandra. Yeah, he gets weird about his mom, but he died. All right, I need to expand. We're going Japan. Oh no, these names are gonna be crazy. Let's try Egyptian. Osiris by his brother Set. Isis. Horus. Look at the underworld. Maybe we name him Jesus on account of him being lost. Wait, no, actually I could do better than that. Who goes into the labyrinth? It goes into the labyrinth in Greek mythology. Labyrinth. Minotaur, Daedalus. Theseus goes into the labyrinth. Okay. It was aided by Ariadne. Okay. Okay. Are there any gay people in Greek mythology? Same-sex. I'm getting distracted. Let me lock in. Let me go back to these names. The mythology side quest is not helping. Let's see. Archer is male. Jasper is male. Is Liam male? Okay, Irish. I like Declan, but it doesn't seem to be gender neutral enough. Meaning full of goodness. It's cute. Gender neutral Irish names. Barry. Name them Cyric because I don't know. I made it from the name Icarus. I was thinking that honestly is that like I like the idea of doing some version of Icarus, but I don't like the way that ends. So it feels like foreshadowing in a bad way. You know, it'd be like naming the main character Ophelia. It's like there's nothing good is gonna happen in this after the camera cuts if that's what their name is. Kerrigan, Casey. Casey's a good one. What does Casey mean? Vigilant in war. Voiceover personality. Whoa, what the? Kerrigan, Cassie, Coffee, Comiskey, Connery, Conleth, Connery, Cochran, Quarantine, Corey, Corrigan, Corwin, Corey. Okay, hold on. Hollow. Whoa, I think we got our name. I think we might have our name. Hold on. We might have our name. Yes. We got our name. Main character's name is Corey. Haha. Means hollow. There we go. Yeah, because wait, what on? Also like Gavin, Cody, Olivia. Yeah, none of those beat out Corey. Used to be more popular among boys. Corey. Do you like it better with the E? Let's skip out on the E. Either way, I think this is the name. This is the name we're going for. Corey in the house. Unless we want to do Chaser. Chaser's a crazy name. Meaning one who chases. No, really? That's what that means? What the fuck? Bro. Who's coming up with these names? Kid's name is Chaser. What does it mean? One who chases. Wow. Real original. Hollow without core. Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. Pun. I see what you did there. Wait, let me check Riker real quick. Meaning becoming rich. Dang. wonder if it's that simple. Okay. Anyways. There we go. Wait, is it Control H that's find and replace? Yes. Corey. All right. And now for the other. Actually, we'll hold off on the mentor. I don't know if the mentor needs a name yet, but we do have names that mean hollow. Cassian. Logan. Oh, small hollow. I think Logan is still a predominantly boy name. Yeah, 90% in 2024 were boys. Cassius, Holden, Hollow Valley. I'm not going to lie, I don't like Corey. That's just me, though. Cash, Corey, Logan, Corey, Hale, Cassio, Cassiana, Holden, Hale. Bing! I just love that Bing is just there. I mean, if you could find one that's like gender neutral and goes for what we're going for, then we'll pick it over Corey. But right now, that's our best. That's our best pick, I think. For comfortably gender neutral. I'm beating up a kid named Bing. Literally, who names their kid Bing? Cassian Moore. But Cassian's pretty, masculine, no? That's a guy name, for sure. And this is, this could be anybody's name, is the idea. Cassian. Yeah. Cassius. Because I just can't think of anybody naming their female girl. Not. No, I can't think of anybody. Obviously, there's anybody for anything, but I don't know if young women would relate to a character named Cassius. Because this also isn't just a boy name. This feels like a very uppity boy name, wealthy boy name. You feel me on that? This guy goes to he's in a private school, and he plays on the lacrosse team at said private school. Yeah, that's the vibe I get from the name Cassius. I like the name Cassius. I just don't like it for this character. Yeah, I had that thought too. Yeah. Cassio, Cassiana, Holden, Hale. I just can't get over. Bing is your name. Her second son, Bingham. What? Further nicknamed Derbingle. Bro, what is this? What am I reading? When Kate Hudson named her second son Bingham and announced that she would be calling him Bing, it put this zingy nickname out on the table. Before that, there was only one, further nicknamed Derbingle, and he was really Harry Lillis Crosby. And I'm looking away. I can't wait to name my kid Bingle Bingham and immediately get it taken by the CBS. Derbingle. Imagine the freaking Lion King scene and coming out of the nursery and it's the bingo. It's so goofy. Oh my gosh, that's so unserious. Kavon Holloway hosting. Or Gorilla. Hollow stock. Oh, I need to stop getting ads for pasta. It makes me hungry. Please name the main character Bingle. We will not be naming the main character Bingle. But maybe since the mentor could have a bunch of different names, I do like the idea of having at some point the mentor's name be Bingham. Or Bingle. They're Bingo. This has little inside jokes. It's not important. I think that's really funny. Maybe the art version of the mentor character. Their name is Bingle. That's really funny. That's really funny. I did not know that existed. Kettle shaped hollow. All right, so for now we're going with Corey and Bingle. All right, where is my... Okay. So this scene, we have Corey. Walking through the school hallway when they stop at a bulletin board. And notice a flyer. To write about open submissions of writing competition. They linger. We've gone on all these journeys together, but you never told me this massive secret. So as your parting gift to me, why don't you share it now? Okay, more exposition because I'm lazy. My real name is Bingo. Bro, imagine we don't hear the name. And then the version of the mentor that bestows the star necklace to the main character, Corey, in this case. Imagine that's when it's, I think you've had a lot of growing and it's time that you receive writing moment. True. Also, welcome. It's time that you receive the star necklace as evidence of you finding out, starting to figure out who you really are. And then they place it on them, and then the question is, or no, before they place it on them, it's like almost like a rite of passage, like a knighting ceremony type deal, where they go, I, Sir Der Bingle, Sir Der Bingle of Germany, give you this star necklace, Corey. You're welcome. That is so unserious. Oh my gosh. That's cracking me up. Anyways. Going back to the school day. They linger at the board. Several moments. Before walking off. And then we cut to whoa. Transition. Corey's room. Whoa, what the? And this would be at night. Typing away furiously at the keyboard. And I'm gonna say this is a. I think in our notes we had this as an over the shoulder shot. Which jumps to. Oh, wait. Why am I blanking? Oh, so, okay. It's side profile. That's what I'm taking. Side shot. So it's going to be a close-up side shot. Them asleep at their desk. A while later. An extreme close-up. Of the laptop screen, which reads expletive. So maybe shit. All right. Is there anything I need to add to that shot for now? I think I'll leave it as is for now. For the time being, we'll leave that how I have it. Anyway. That would cut to. Hold on. Now I gotta think. Now I gotta ponder. For some reason, that feels like it's missing something. It's not showing very well more of Corey's personality that I feel like is important to establish. Okay, I think I want to extend the furiously typing sequence. Type away at their keyboard. We get extreme close-ups of various Google searches. Okay. Okay. Writing advice for amateurs. Could be one search that they do. How to make things sound. Story sound interesting. How to improve. Hold on. What if this is a writing competition? What kind of things would they want to look at? Is this a short story competition? Is this a poetry competition? Is it just a writing in general? Yeah, we're gonna make it a short story competition. Okay, open submissions for a short story competition. Maybe we should have a short story competition. That'd be fun. That'd be cute. Read everything on stream. Let's see. Okay. Short story competition. For several moments. Okay, writing advice for amateurs. How do you make your story sound interesting? My characters sound boring. Help. My characters talk weird. Help. When to know you're not creative. Can you still be a writer if you haven't written anything? Okay. I like the reason why I'm adding in this filler space is because I like the idea of oh my god, I'm having a stroke right now. Displaying the overwhelmed and anxious side of Corey in some way in this beginning part. And I feel like that lends itself to like a kind of frantic tippy tapping away while trying to figure out how they want to come up with their ideas for this short story for this competition, right? So instead of just having the scene be the tapping away, furiously tapping away of like, oh, they're cooking something good right now with that idea in our head as we first meet Corey. I'd like it being a thing of like, oh, okay, like maybe they are writing something, and then we cut to all those close-ups, and it's all these Google searches, and it's just like, oh, it's not going well. It's pretty rough right now. Writing advice for amateurs, how to make your story sound interesting. My characters talk weird. Help. When to know you're not creative. Can you still be a writer if you never write anything? I just think that there's a lot of like self-doubt and insecurity there that's really funny. It's fertile ground to explore Corey's character better. So I like the idea of having that in there. And then what other notes did I have about how the main characters contrast, or the mentors contrast from Corey's? Okay, when they're outside painting, they're making something. Corey, okay, so it shows that Corey is chaotic and all over the place, as we will later see with the mentor scene. Okay. And then there's also the element of things being nonsensical for both the mentor and Corey, but Corey's is a little more put together. Or the mentor is significantly more put together. So then in that case, maybe there should be a struggle with Corey trying to make something realistic. Maybe it's like a fusion of two bonkers genres that they're trying to do. Like maybe they're trying to do a space pirate spy thriller, maybe something like that. Whatever the case is, they're having issues writing something, and that's okay. I guess we can just leave it whatever they're writing out of it because it's not going to be important to the plot. We can just leave it at they need to focus on writing something, and that's what they're struggling with is because they can't think of anything that would be worth writing. Okay. In that case, we get extreme close-ups of various Google searches, writing advice for amateurs, how to make your story sound interesting. My characters talk weird, help. When you know you're not creative, can you still be a writer if you never write anything? Camera then jumps to close-up side shot of them asleep at their desk a while later. Cuts again to an extreme close-up of the laptop screen, which reads shit. Okay, I like that. I think I'm cool with that. So then, after this scene, maybe I do want to cut to the couple scene right after. No, I think I want to spend more time showing that they're also depressed. Um, in which case, we'll cut to. Okay, we'll stay in Corey's bedroom then. And this is going to be the following day. So maybe they see the bulletin thing on the weekend. So now it's weekend day. Corey wakes up. Okay, we'll have that be an overhead shot. Where? Okay, there we go. Wakes up upside down in their bed feels like I'm not trying to say that. I'm trying to say something else. How would you describe somebody sleeping like inverted in their bed? So their head is where their feet are at and their feet are where their head are supposed to go. Because I think that's what I'm trying to say. They wake up sleeping upside down. Half inverted to their usual position. But we don't know their usual position, so it feels weird to make that leap. I think I can make it more yeah, exactly. It doesn't sound too great. I think I can make it more chaotic. Wakes up to half their body hanging over. Okay, hold on. What are the parts of a bed called? I'm only thinking of the backboard and the headrest right now. But I feel like the name it's not footrest, but there's a name for like where your feet are at the edge of your bed. It's not just called the edge of your bed, right? Because your bed has 3 edges in theory. Or technically 4, but in practice 3. What am I thinking of? This is not gonna give me what I'm looking for. They wake up, sprawl all over their bed, head where their legs usually are, and legs where their head usually lie. That's super wordy. It's called footboards, side rails, legs. Best viewer stream. Possible ban evader. Drayton, can you remove the bot? Rear Utopa, thank you. Anatomy of a bed frame. Headboard, footer. Oh, it's called a footer? Footnote? Footboard? 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 Alright, seems like it's called the footboard. So we're gonna go with footboard. Oop. Okay. Wakes up to half their body hanging over the footboard. They groan and slump the rest of their body off the bed. They're disorganized, drained, tired. This would be a close-up shot of their phone still lying on the desk. A hand reaches up. Looking for phone. And sliding it off the desk. Okay. We hear a thud of their phone. Probably hitting them in the face since they didn't want to get up. And the Yelp. No, Yelp seems too cartoonish. Probably another groan. So in my head, I'm thinking of like, it's the shot is of the desk and the phone is sitting on the desk, right? And then there's just like, the out of focus background. And then so the phone is sitting on the desk like this, right? And in the shot, we're seeing hold on, I can do this better. So phone sitting on the desk like this, right? And there's like other stuff going on in the background, but that's not important. Anyways, the hand comes up like this, feels around, and then like drags the phone off. Phone drops. We hear a thud and another wow. And then that kind of shows, I think, how difficult it is for this character, the main character, to get up in the morning. And then also what their energy level is at. I think it's communicated pretty well there. So I like that idea. Okay, we hear thud, like groan. And then I think I'm comfortable cutting that scene there. I don't think I want to add any more to it than that. So make sure we'll save it. Stream movie script. Okay. All right then. So that feels like a pretty good stopping point then for that opening scene and then the writing scene that comes right after it. I think I am. Hey, welcome to the stream, Angelo. I think I'm gonna call it there for the writing stuff, but I need to make a short list of movies that I need to watch before the end of this year. Before the end of this year. I have goals that need to be met. I gotta go to bed, but I hope things went well. They did. Cars 2. I've already seen Cars 2. I rewatched the first half of it earlier this year too. And maybe I'll commit to watching the other half of it. Force my coworkers who haven't seen it to watch it. Yup. Rewatch, try. Hey. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Have they announced the Academy nominations yet? I watched half of Mamma Mia. You should watch the other half. It's actually pretty good. Not yet. Revealed in January 2026. Superman is the only movie I've seen in theaters this year at least. Dang. Okay, hold on. In that case, then. Okay, 42,000 films were released this year. I've seen a lot of movies in theaters. Me too. I would argue this year I've watched more movies in theaters than any other year. Although to be fair, I did also start. I have been working at a movie theater the past year, 2 years, and this year, I just so happened to So to be fair, I've had a lot of opportunity to watch a lot of movies too. I did watch K-pop Demon Hunters first on Netflix, then I went to see it in theaters as well too. Unfortunately, it goes hard. I wanted to hate that movie so bad, but it was good. It was good. I had to admit, it was fun. It wasn't like peak, but it was solid. It was a solid movie, and it was fun, and it got me. And the music goes crazy. The music is like unreasonably good. But are these ranked by popularity? Yeah. Okay. Film popularity of all time. I think Golden went platinum. Probably. Golden is good. Let's see. Genre? No. High TV shows. Hide and release titles. Hide documentary. No, I'm going to leave documentaries. Because this year, or next Oscar season, Your Idol scene went crazy. True. Next Oscar season, I do actually want to commit myself to watching every nomination. Last year, I just did the Best Picture and the Best Cinematography ones. But this upcoming Oscar season, I do want to try to watch all of them. And then give my take on all of them. Okay. 40,000 films released in 2025 matching these Descriptions. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see. From this year, I have seen. Is there a way to make this bigger? How do I make this bigger? Like this? Much better. There we go. All right. Sinners, Superman, Weapons, Mickey 17, Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, One Battle After Another, Companion, K-Pop Demon Hunters, F1, Minecraft Movie, The Materialists, 28 Years Later, Final Destination Bloodlines, How to Train Your Dragon, Jurassic World, Rebirth, Bring Her Back, and Frankenstein. I have watched 10 of these, I believe. Yes. The ones I haven't seen are Materialists, Final Destination Bloodlines, the How to Train Your Dragon live action, Jurassic World Rebirth, Bring Her Back, and Frankenstein. Hold on. Okay, so I've seen 12 of these 18, and these are the most popular. These are the most popular ones of this year on Letterboxd. It's been kind of a mid-year for movies, to be honest, but I hope some good stuff comes out in the next 2 months. I am very excited for the next 2 months. I remember seeing Hamlet being shown when I was in Telluride. I think Hamlet's going to be really good. I honestly think Hamlet is going to... It's definitely a little Oscar baity, but I think it's going to be really good. Marty Supreme, I have no idea what to expect on that one, but I am very excited to see Marty Supreme. That's another one that I'm looking forward to. Frankenstein, I still need to watch. Bring Her Back, I should probably watch. It's going to freak me out. I know it is, but I should probably watch it. Materialists, I have no clue. I don't think this was a well-received movie. I might. I don't know. I might. I'm not a big romantic drama guy. Rom-dram guy, but I might. F1, solid. K-Pop Demon Hunter, solid. Companion, I had a lot of fun with Companion. I thought that was pretty decent. Dang, F1's higher rated than Demon Hunters on here? Did not see that coming. Minecraft Movie is only at a 2.5. Wow, these people have no joy, no childlike wonder. Shame. For shame. 28 Years Later was really good. I was very impressed by this. Danny Boyle cooking again. Let's see. And the soundtrack? Oh my God, I'm such a big fan of the soundtrack for 28 Years Later. One Battle After Another was solid. I think I gave it an 8 out of 10 or 4 stars out of 5. I would definitely say throw away your expectations going into that one because it's a very different movie than you think it is, than you think it's going to be, I guess. At least it was for me, for One Battle After Another. Why does this thing keep refreshing with these ads? Oh my goodness, we get it. Glenn Powell's the Running Man. Anyways, Thunderbolts was really good. I like Thunderbolts. I think it's definitely one of the better things to have come out of Marvel in the past year. Fantastic Four was decent. Fantastic Four was decent, but to me it was kind of bland. Not a lot happened, but to be fair, it's like a filler movie in the MCU, so I get it. Mickey 17, enjoyed that. Thought that was pretty fun, interesting. Not the best work by Bong Joon-ho, but to be fair, he's never topping Parasite. To be fair, he will never top Parasite. Unfortunately, Parasite is a perfect movie, and it's peak. But Mickey 17 was still solid. I thought it was fun. I thought it was interesting. Weapons. I need to watch Barbarian. I feel like if I watch Barbarian, I would get Weapons maybe a little more in terms of like stylistically, but I might need to watch Barbarian. You literally haven't seen his other movies. Kill me, shut the fuck up. JK. Well, that's true. I haven't seen Bong Joon-ho's other movies, but I spiritually when I reach mentally into the aether, something tells me that Parasite was his best movie. Like, I'm sure some of these ones are really good. Don't get me wrong. I've heard good things about Okia or Oya, well, however you pronounce this. I've heard good things about Memoirs of a Murder. Memoirs of a Murder is really good from what I remember. Okay, yeah, I've heard good things about this one as well. I haven't heard anything about Snowpiercer, and maybe I need to give that one a shot too. But of everything that I have seen of his and that I do know, my understanding is Parasite is tops it all. It's absolute cinema. Um, but I need to watch more of his stuff. It's his most normie movie. That would make sense. I could see that. You get your OG classic white guy to play the lead role, Snowpiercer. The Chris Evans as the Snowpiercer. I'm pretty sure all of his movies have like some or a lot of commentary on wealth inequality, and I think Snowpiercer is one of those that kind of leans into that as well too. My dad's seen it. Yeah. But I need a short list of movies that I need to watch before the end of the year that came out this year. Let me go back now. Back. Okay. Sort by popularity this year. Not sure if that would make a difference, but oh well. What? Captain America Brave New World made the list. Main character is Chris Evans in Snowpiercer. He pieces the snow as a white man. Sort by highest rated, maybe. Okay. All right. Whoa. I haven't even heard of most of these. How many reviews do some of these have? Like 6? Did you watch Ray's Arc? Yes, I did. You'll get more indie Kino. True. Hold on. Have I even heard of a single one of these? Other than Chainsaw Man? No. The importance of being earnest. 2,000 meters to enter. This is crazy. Mitski the Land. What's with these artist movies or artist documentaries that are making this list? Is it because there's been like 6 reviews of them? Is that what's going on? 97 fans? Yeah, okay. Yeah, and they're all Mitski fans. 36 fans. Joanne Sacrebleu. What is this? There's no way this is peak. Surely. I've heard of a couple. Keep Mitski's name out your fucking mouth. I like some of the Mitski songs. People are rating it ironically. Oh, okay, gotcha. 75 fans of Lady Gaga Mayhem on the Beach. Because it's a parody of Amelia Perez. Oh, that's the parody of the Amelia. Okay, I did not know this was the parody of Amelia Perez. That's really funny though. Towards the Light. Will the Power in cinemas. Yeah, again, these are all. How do I get rid of that in the filters? Hide documentaries. Okay, that didn't help. They gotta hide short films. That didn't change much. The voice of Hind Rajib or Rajab. Huh. Ew, not K-pop. True. Wicked hasn't even come out. What's this? Oh, 2-hour special? 16 fans? Hold on. There's got to be a way to filter how many people have seen this. All-time popularity. Oh, I can't do both. Hmm. All right. Well, it would seem to be the case that the highest rated of this year include, what is this? Vanisher, Horizon Scraper, Quedeca. That Music Boy. That's interesting. Okay. Next to normal, 553 fans. PBS Great Performances Recording. Okay. Okay. You can load more movies at the bottom. Get the big list going. Is that Rosamund Pike? It is our queen. Only 10 fans. Inter Alia. Smart crown court judge at the top of her career. Behind the robe, she's a karaoke fiend, loving wife, and supportive parent. Oh, interesting. What is this? Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. Travel back to the year 2008. Huh. Inter Alia or the Nirvana one? Your movie sucks, likes it a lot. Nirvana? Oh, okay. I mean, the plot seems. Yeah. Reality goes horribly wrong. Matt and Jay accidentally travel back to the year 2008. But you know what? I think it's worth a shot. I think it's worth a shot to check it out. I don't think it's a plot kind of movie. Gotcha. Okay. Maybe a character study. Absolutely incredible. Huh. People seem to be a big fan of it. No LOL like a dumb comedy. Oh. Yeah. I guess I'm not opposed, but you know my feeling. Wait. Why is Neja 2 so high on this list? Oh my goodness. It's very high on this list. 4.1? I heard that it got a ton of hype. I did not hear that it was good. You haven't seen any comedy movies, Comey. Keep on beating you up. I know. It's just like I feel like a lot of the comedy movies just kind of fall flat for me. You know, like it just feels like it's something. It's not something that I would like write. So it doesn't feel like something I would laugh to. I don't know. When it comes to comedy stuff, I usually tend to go. This one I've heard was phenomenal. It was just an accident. I've heard incredibly good things about this one. And some of the theaters in some of the Regals in the country got it, but I don't think any of the ones in our area did, which is such a bummer because we really need to see this one. This one I've heard is phenomenal. I've heard it's amazing, and it was getting a lot of movement in Cannes Film Festival, if I recall correctly. I was getting a lot of hype back there, so that's one I've been wanting to watch. True, true. Wicked, a wonderful night, bruh. No me quiero ir de aquí. Una más. Okay, another one. Is there a way to get rid of all of these musical movies, like tour movies and everything? It's getting old. Bahubali the Epic. I hear they're doing an animated version of this one. And that's gonna be pretty exciting. No, unfortunately, bruh. I'm gonna tweak. I'm gonna tweak. Hidden inventory, premature death is on here. That's funny. All that's left of you. Oh, I just know this is tragic. I just know this is heartbreaking. In the occupied West Bank of the 1980s, a Palestinian teenager is swept into a protest that changes the course of his family's life. Dang. Oh, I know this one's heartbreaking. I just know it. I heard that the new Park Chan Wook movies are really good. Who is that? Bjork. Uh, Bjork, My Queen. The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde. A trivial comedy for serious people. Interesting. Yeah, I guess Bjork has 25 fans. 25 fans that were very into this Bjork cornucopia, performing live alongside choirs of flutes and voices. What is this? Turnstile, Never Enough. Oh, okay, interesting. Speaking of Turnstile, I think they have a song called Birds, and I'm kind of a big fan of it. It's called No Other Choice. Yep, found it. After being laid off and humiliated by a ruthless job market, a veteran paper mill manager descends into violence in a desperate bid to reclaim his dignity. Dang, okay. Um, the Park Chan Wook one. Okay. Is it on anything? Ah. All right then. So I need. What do I need? Okay, what do we say? No Other Choice. Park Chan Wook. Most of the movies that are really good haven't gotten wide released in the US yet. I know, and it's tragic. Hamnet is on my list as well, and that is what's her name? Chloe Zhao. Yep. And the Middle Eastern one, it was just an accident. It's definitely going to be on our list. Where is it? Where did it go? I just saw it. Oh, there it is. It was just an accident. By Jafar Panahi. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. What is this? Okay. Eager young Hollywood star. This has Elle Fanning in it? Interesting. I'm a big fan of Elle Fanning right now. She's really good at the roles that she's played, and she's also, I think, selected some pretty solid roles as of late. Um, so generally, when I see that her name's on a project, I'm relatively excited. I need to be better about watching Indian film. Considering that this has a higher rating, I might throw this on my list. Oh fucking yeah. Best version of Bahubali. Did not did not miss the 90 minutes they cut out. Dang! 90 minutes. Visually breathtaking it is. Some of the best frames in world cinema. The remastered and recut Bahubali, the beginning 2015, and Bahubali 2, the conclusion 2017. In one film, they put the beginning and the sequel. Okay. I haven't seen any Indian movies. We got to watch RRR. Agreed. Is that the same guy that does him? Definitely no. Oh, I know it is the same guy. Okay, I thought I recognized that name. I was like, I feel like that's the same guy. Oh, is that true? It's on Netflix right now? Yeah, Life of Pi doesn't really count. If RRR is on Netflix right now, I'm throwing that on my list then. Even though it's not a 2025 movie. SS Rajamouli. Okay. It's a hot minute. if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 3 hours. It's 3 hours. I honestly need to rewatch Life of Pi. It's been a minute. Yeah. Pai Patel. Okie dokie. Um, okay. So as of right now, I have a Korean film, a Middle Eastern film, and an Indian film that I need to watch before the end of the year. I have Hamnet by Chloe Zhao, and there was another one that was more recent here that I needed to add. Um, maybe I don't know. We'll hold off on that. Hold off on that. Oh my god, I forgot about this movie. I forgot this had come out. Because the first one was bonkers. I needed to see if this one was also slowly indoctrinating you with foreign films, all part of my woke mind games. True. True. The woke agenda continues to spread. One of the YouTubers that I watch actually, after he went to Cannes Film Festival, he said that the future of film is foreign, and that he thinks that America is losing its hegemony in like the film industry to other countries putting out bangers. And that makes me really excited for a couple of reasons. Number one, it'll mean more foreign releases in the US. And number two, it means more English dubs, like better English dubs of foreign films, which also makes me very excited. Most of my faves last year were foreign. I'm trying to think of what my faves were last year. Oh, wait, no. The one that was foreign last year that I absolutely loved was what's the Brazilian one? I'm still here. I'm still here. That's what it's called. That movie is so tragic and so beautiful all at once. It was really, really good. I really liked I'm Still Here. Highly recommend to anybody who hasn't seen it. Wait. The entire U.S. military industrial complex versus essentially Satoru Gojo. This movie has some of the most creative animation and action I've seen, and it's always so awesome to learn more about Chinese mythos and mythology. My goat, Wuxian, is directly responsible for the waste of billions of U.S. military dollars. That's funny. Felt like a hidden gem. Hey, that's honestly something I feel very strongly about. Faves were the substance and memoir of a snail. Is the substance foreign? And I did hear good things about Memoir of a Snail. Dang. Oh, yeah. Coralie Farge. Definitely French. It's in English, though. Okay, gotcha. Substance is French. Memoir of a Snail. Yeah, Memoir of a Snail is one that I need to watch, too. I've heard good things about it. Legend of Hay too. I might put that. I might have to put that on my list so I don't forget about it because I do personally want to watch Neja and Legend. It's so crazy to me that this is rated so highly. I might have to put it on my list just for that because I watched the first one. I like the first one was okay, but for that many people to give that 4.1 is crazy. Yang Yu. I think Maya would like it too. Probably, yeah. From what I've seen of it, yeah. I guess so. I got that's what Nezha 2 I heard was really peak compared to the first one. Yeah, because the worst thing about the first one is the main character is insufferable. Full stop. The main character is insufferable. Full stop. And my understanding is in the second one, the main character has minimal screen time, and you get to focus on everybody else in it, which what makes it so much better. So yeah, I guess I'm putting it on my list if for no other reason than that. So we got Korean, Middle Eastern, Indian, and Chinese on my list right now. Let's see. Mark Twain Prize for Conan O'Brien. What is this? Little Amélie. Amélie et la métaphysique des tubes. Wait! I might have gotten a trailer for this that was absolutely bonkers. The woke agenda in full force. True. Oh my god, no, that's not what it was called. I don't think. I don't think it was this movie. But I believe it was a French movie of some kind. I feel like I remember seeing the Rainbow French one. What Rainbow French one? I don't know what I'm thinking of, but if I saw the trailer, I would recognize it. This looks so cute. Oh my goodness. I saw the poster on Letterboxd. Let's try it. Rainbow French movie. Let's try it. And see if it gives us what we're looking for. Cause I think it was supposed to have come out this year. Yes, Arco. Boom, found it. There we go. Yes, Arco. Yeah. All right. 25. A 7.5 on IMDb. A 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. No popcorn beater because nobody's seen it. Coming soon to theaters November 14th. Okay. I don't think we got... Oh, the eyes from that only remind me of that blue eye stare meme. What? What are you talking about? Probably not at Regal, though. No, I don't think we got it at Regal, which is so tragic. This little girl and her green eyes. Aggressively green eyes. She looks so cute, though. The blue eyes stare me. No, I know what you're talking about. I agree with you. It's definitely giving that vibe. No, you're right. Like you're right. You're right. It's definitely giving the same energy as the blue eye stare me. All right, so we're gonna add Arco to the short list for French movies. Um, you know who might get it? Roadhouse. Bryce scares me when he doesn't wear his glasses because his eyes are so blue. True. Colorado Springs. Grand Prix of Europe. Wicked Keeper. Does anybody know what Keeper's about? I haven't seen the trailer and I don't understand everything I've seen on the movie. Murder at the Embassy. Roadhouse doesn't show too many indie foreign stuff either, I don't think, or at least not the one near us. Dang. Who does? Like, I'm trying to find these niche movies. But yeah, Little Emily or the Character of Rain. Oh, there's Arco. It's on here. Yeah. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. Does it say what the release dates are for some of these movies? You have to go to Denver because people in the Springs are uncultured. True. And it's messed up. Luckily, we have our movie night to fix that. Yes. The movie nights are honestly like a huge boon on how many movies I've watched this year to like push my envelope. I think I might if I stay on the track that I have been on, the super grind for the last like 2 months, I might actually hit 200 movies this year, which is huge for me. That's super exciting. Cause that would be, yeah, I know. Cause like I think I'm at like 110, 120, but like in the last like 2 months, like there's like 40 movies in there. So yeah, I think if I stay on the right track, I might hit 200. Cause I've been really up in my movie watch where I'm doing almost one a day. So yeah, we're making headway. We're making big leaps and bounds in movie watching. I'm really trying to inundate myself in the art form. I think that like in terms of like all the types of media that exist out there, visual storytelling has no equal. Sorry, it just doesn't. It just doesn't. That might be a hot take. Hey, don't get me wrong. I love a good song. I love a good photo. I love a good painting. When it comes to visual storytelling, cinema, bar none. Sorry. Just storytelling in general, honestly. Not even just visual storytelling. Just storytelling in general. Cinema, I think it peaks at cinema. That's what I think. And in part because cinema is a combination of all the others put together. Yeah. They all have pros and cons, I think, but yeah, movies are so good. Yes. Nothing comes close to a movie, man. I really do love movies. And the thing is that like there's like songs and art, digital art and like traditional like media style art and sculptures and stuff like that that like do really move me, and they're profound and they're beautiful. But then like a movie about that same thing would move me arguably just as much. Like a good movie about that same thing would move me just as much, if not more, if not more. And so yeah, I don't know. Movies they're special to me when it comes to storytelling. I think it's a cut above the rest. What if rainbows? Books come close though. True. True. I would say books come close, especially if you have a very vivid imagination. Books come very close. Because when I read a book, I'm playing the movie of the book in my head. And then I'm also getting like all of like the main characters and side characters' thoughts as well too, depending on the perspective of the story. And so yeah, I would say that books come close. Books come close, but in large part because I'm playing the movie of a book in my head when I'm reading it. Okay. I think I had filtered out unreleased stuff. Okay, so this is everything that is out. Demon Slayer movies on there. It was just an accident. Kid Vampire. What is that? I've never heard of this. It sounds kind of cute. Count Papa sends Kid Vampire off to human school. In search of blood, he discovers something even sweeter along the way. Friendship. Aww. Sorry, baby. I've heard good things about this. I've heard it's very emotionally heavy, but it's like peak. Gay. True. But I don't know. Something about it gives indie vibes to me in a way that feels like a raid. Whoa! What the? Let's go. Thanks for the raid. We're putting together a short list for all the movies that I need to see before the end of the year. Welcome all the new people. Thank you. I was gonna say, I feel like Sorry Baby is one of those movies that, like, I don't even know how to describe it other than, like, it seems like it could be in my lane, but it's not quite. Oh, good heavens. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of new fans, new surprises. Welcome everybody. Welcome one and all. But it could be something I'd be into. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to give it some time and check it out. We might probe it a little first. Marty Supreme hasn't come out yet, but people have already started rating that as well. Def has been rated. Poet. What is this? Poeta. Middle-aged erratic. Oscar is a failed writer who is given up on life, unemployed, and living with his family. He wanders the streets of Medellin in a drunken stupor. Interesting. Yeah. Want to give a rundown of what you're writing? Oh, yeah. Thank you, Drayton. Actually, thank you for keeping me on track. So for everybody that's new, the thing that we're actually writing, because I was in some downtime, but the thing that we're at, what this stream has been about for the past like 5 weeks is I've been storyboarding and then starting to write a movie script on stream. So a bit of background and context. I moved out of my hometown like 2 years ago, and I was like, my goal is to become a film director, and I want to be able to make films that go in theaters all over the world. I think that would be really cool. And I'm very passionate about film in general and movies and storytelling in general. Like, so that's all like my lane. And I went to my first film festival like earlier this year, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. I had submitted a project to that same film festival, which didn't get accepted, but I learned a lot and I met a lot of cool people while I was there anyways. And I got to see all the stuff that I felt that I wasn't showing in my stories or they didn't have them. So I was like, okay, let me like lock in, really get good at this writing thing, like really hone down on like my writing, and then start really practicing more on like showing my work for why I think I'm a capable director, or I can be capable of having a big budget while directing. Because that's the thing. Like, you can make a short film and that makes you a director. If you make a movie, you get to be a director. Boom, full stop, right? But to be at the level where they start giving you a lot of money to do that, it takes a little bit more, and they need receipts, essentially, of like, you know, you showing that you are capable of doing more. And so I decided I needed to create a bunch of receipts. So instead of just like writing all these projects and like having all these like conversations in my head, I thought I should just stream it and show everybody what I'm thinking about when I'm writing and what I'm thinking about when I'm putting together a screenplay for either a short film or feature film, whatever the case might be. And kind of like the story elements and the character plot points and like character arcs and things like all the little things that I'm thinking about when I'm trying to visually tell a story, as well as like the audio elements to it too, because with movies, it's what you see and what you hear. So like how does the movie sound as well too is very important to me. I should show the work of how I'm thinking about all of those things while I'm writing. I love seeing how others' brains work. Me too. It's a hyperfixation of mine to pick apart people's brains. Ask straight. But if I showed that on a stream, I felt like it was a good way to find a community of people who are also very passionate about like arts in general, but especially more specifically like film and story, like visual storytelling through film. And then also it would be a great way to kind of become a beacon to other people where I can kind of draw the attention and eyes and ears of people who are already working in industry that I can't get to because I can't move out to LA or New York and survive like financially. So I need to become like a little beacon of light to like, hey, I'm doing stuff here. You guys should check me out. And so I decided I needed more evidence or more receipts of like a paper trail of my creative process, and then also my projects themselves. So that's why I started doing the stream. And the one we're working on right now, which we don't have a name for yet, but the summary of the plot is we have this main character, and they are kind of like falling through different realities, right? The reason why I have it set up that way is because this was a movie that, in theory, if I needed it to, would be one that I could write and then direct and shoot and edit all on stream, where like somebody in like during 1 week could send like their like several shots of this one scene, and then somebody else the next week could have different actors at a different location altogether and send several shots of their next scene, and it would all still make sense continuity wise, right? So that was kind of like the limitations or the restrictions that I had while coming up with the story. And so we have the main character that's like falling through all of these different realities. And it's representative of the fact that they don't really know kind of who they are or who they want to be. They kind of aimless and without direction in life. And then also the fact that there's a lot of noise in like day-to-day life of like so much stuff going around you, happening around you all the time. And it can kind of be overwhelming. And so main character is kind of falling through all these realities as like a visual representation of just kind of like different parts of their life where they don't really figure out like, yes, who are these people? Hold on. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Like as a visual representation of like all of the different possibilities that you could have for your life, and then not being able to like decide, or kind of having like a decision paralysis over deciding which one of those routes you want to go through with. So that main character has that happening through different like areas of their life where there's like them like on their own versus themselves, them versus other people, and then them versus like societal pressure as a whole. And then they meet this mentor character, and this mentor seemingly also falls through different realities. Don't worry, thank you. Move this to your DMs. Yeah, I appreciate that. But they kind of move through those realities together, and then it's like, okay, well now I have somebody else who is also seemingly like falling through these different points in time and different like lives in general. Along with me, and they seem to be more comfortable or more at ease with themselves and kind of the direction they're going in life than I am. So it presents an opportunity for the main character to just kind of like spend time with this mentor figure and ask them questions about like, hey, like how do you know what you want, or how do you know what you are, like who you are, and how do you come up with those answers and things like that. And so then we get to see the main character spending time with this mentor figure for the second part of the story. And the mentor figure kind of represents the idea of having a clear sense of self even if that sense of self isn't a static thing. So it's not necessarily that this mentor character knows exactly who they are and exactly what they want and exactly where they're going to go and what they're going to do, but more so the case that they feel comfortable enough to explore all of those things and it still represent them. And so it's not like an identity crisis if they want to change their mind. And then there's like climax point of the story, I would say, where the main character starts to understand that reasoning, that mindset, and catch on to it and start to apply it themselves. And then we transition from the mentor now being able to head off onto their own path and into these separate adventures, while the main character now, with that new knowledge, gets to reapply it to situations that they were dealing with before. And so that's the current story that is being written on stream. And earlier in this stream today, we were starting to script out the opening sequence and some of the beginning scenes. But that's to catch everybody up. I stream on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 8 Central, 9 Eastern, and then 6 Pacific. So if that's something where you're curious to stop by again to check out what's going on with this project, by all means, I highly encourage anybody who is watching to join. I also don't know whose raid this is, but shout out to the raid person. But that's what we were doing earlier in the stream, and currently we're putting together a short list, because I love film and movies in general, of movies that have come out this year, with the exception of RRR, that I'm trying to watch before the year's end. It's a raid train from a few streamers that were all ending at the same time. Oh, neat. Okay. Awesome. Well, thanks for raiding. I appreciate that. Okay. Going back to my movie short list. My Father's Shadow. Kid Brothers, Remy and Akin get to spend a gift of a day with their... Oh, I heard about this one at Cannes, I believe, as well, too. I think, if I recall correctly, that this one is really good. And it's one of a few movies that came out... a few movies that I think got an international release from Africa. So I think that would be a good one to add to the list as well. My Father's Shadow. Yeah, likewise. It is kind of embarrassing that I haven't seen many African movies. I need to watch more African movies, yeah. Especially because of the fact that I am African. Black Girl. Do I know what that is? I've only seen Black Girl so far. Oh, I do know what this is. 1966. Okay, yes, I do know what this is. I haven't seen it, though. Is this good? I heard it was decent. I've mentioned it. It's short but really powerful. Okay, sick. Because this is the one where, like, her mom shows up again at some point, right? If I'm not mistaken. Black Girl, but My Father's Shadow. Akinola Davis. I don't think so, but I haven't seen it in forever. Okay. All right. Okay, Davies Jr. And then Arco. Arco was one that I feel like the trailer for this, I was very excited about this movie from the trailer. I should rewatch it real quick, because I feel like it was very interesting. Okay. Make sure my desktop audio, or is it just the Chrome audio? I think it's Chrome audio. Okay.
You think that next time I can go along?
No flying before the age of 12. It's the law.
all right?
What's your name?
Arco. What year is it? It's 2075. Tell me where you're from. I can't.
Little boys don't just fall from the sky. It's as if he didn't exist.
Have you seen anything strange in the woods?
I just saw a rainbow. What's it like? No one should know the future. Ever. There was a diamond on my shoe. I can't go home without it.
You're gonna have to run fast. If they catch you, they'll never let you go home.
Do you think wishes really come true? Like in fairy tales?
I don't know, Iris.
Argo!
But what's to stop you from trying?
See, and that's what I've been saying. This looks absolutely bonkers. Scavenger's Reign. Honestly, I actually don't know. Let's look into that actually, because I also get the same similar vibe, but it could just be that it's French. It's French studio in general, and that's why I think Scavenger's Reign. Not Rain. Rain. But that's a good question. Let me see. Program creator, Joseph Bonnet. Animation studio. Titmouse and Green Street Pictures. Production companies Mountain A remembers. Okay. Produced by Natalie Portman, no. Distributed by production companies Mountain A. France 3. Wait, do I know anything from Titmouse? Mighty Nine. Work. They did that Duolingo video? Bruh. That is so unserious. Sisters Grimm, Overwatch 2 collaboration trailer, The Mighty Nine official trailer, Haunted Hotel, Digman Season 2, Nissan Murano commercial, Tawa and the Guardian of the Sacred Tree. I think I know them from Adult Swim stuff. Okay. They did Love, Death, Robots. Oh, this was a good episode. I thought that was dope. Okay, so they animated that one. They did some more of these trailers. Mystery Island. Okay, Among Us. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, they worked on Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. That I did not know. That's super dope, though. Pantheon. This is a sleeper pick. I don't know if anybody else has seen Pantheon, but I watched it. It gets a little weird at the end. Not gonna lie, it gets a little weird at the end. But the concept and execution was really cool for most of that series. Would recommend. Scavenger's Reign, Frog and Toad, Royal Crackers, Hi-Fi Rush Cinematics. I heard this game was a banger. Agent Elvis, Legend of Vox Machina. Kill Team Kill, another banger from Love, Death, Robots. The Boys, Diabolical. They have a very diverse... Oh, Big Mouth. Chicago Party on 12 Principles Animation. Yeah, they have a very diverse portfolio here of projects that the studio's worked on. That's really cool though. Midnight Gospel. They didn't. That's exciting. I'm a huge fan of Midnight Gospel. Check Discord. All right. Yeah. Please do. Midnight Gospel is peak. True. Absolute banger. But yeah, you're green light on that, Drayton. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, yeah. I guess I am a big fan of their stuff. I like this. Anyways, before we wrap up the stream, let me get some more movies in here. Father Shadow. Who did Arcos again? Hugo Bienvenu. Okay, so that's 7. So I need 3 more picks to wrap us up. Cargo Vapor, no. Begonia, seen that. Was a fan. There's not a single American movie on that list so far. I mean, there doesn't really need to be, right? No other choice. We got Korean. I mean, Chloe Zhao, I guess, is an American, so technically. Oh, yes. Thank you, Drayton. For anybody who is still around and interested, we do have a Discord server that we use as like a collaborative space. And you're free to join and share any ideas or check out any of the ideas that are in there as well, too. Let's see. We got It Was Just an Accident, which is Middle Eastern. We got RRR, which is Indian. Nezutu, which is Chinese. Arco, which is French. My Father's Shadow, which is African. I believe Nigerian specifically. I think it's based in Lagos. Homebound. Sundays. We need a Latin American movie. That's what I think. Is that what death is? Angela's deafness raises concerns during her pregnancy regarding connecting with her daughter. Post-delivery partner Hector supports her as she learns to mother in a society lacking adequate accommodations for the hearing impaired. And this, I think, is Latin American. It's originally called Sorda. Maybe. Now that I'm thinking about it, we also don't have any Japanese movies on here. Would Del Toro count as a Latin American movie? Maybe. I don't know. I haven't counted. Train Dreams. LOL, I think so. Yeah. A logger leads a quiet life. A life of quiet graces. He experiences love and loss during an era of monumental change in the early 20th century America. Why do I know her? Who is this? Felicity Jones. That's how I know her. Okay. Who is she in? Oh, yeah. Okay. That's how I know you. Gotcha. Train Dreams. Got a 3.9. Not many people have seen it, though, it looks like. Let's see. Left-handed Girl. Must have to maintain family unity. What is this? This looks insane. Ooh, I think I heard that one was good. Left-handed Girl. Yeah? It sounded interesting from the premise. I'd be down to throw that in there, potentially. I just want to make sure I'm not skipping out on anything else that's peak. Obsession. Ooh. I do like some of these movies, the way they're... Again with these freaking tour movies. Why do they all have so incredibly high ratings? Oh my gosh. It's all peak. True. I think all of these foreign movies are peak. Most likely. People are locked in across the world. It's because all the Sands give them five stars. That makes sense. Wait. The Secret Agent. I heard really good things about this one from Cannes Film Festival. I think I really would want this one to be on the list. If at all possible. Yeah. Cause I heard this one was a banger. And if it's the one I'm thinking of, I think I remember hearing that it was really, really funny too. Who is this? Okay, Kleber Mendonca. Filho. Okay. We're about to alienate all the movie night people with obscure porn face. True. Which one of them is not like super like or has a weird thing about subtitles again? I forget. So one of them has a hang up about subtitles. I don't remember who. It might have been Bryce. But yeah. One creature remains. They need to get over it. True. They really do. Because a banger's a banger. Reading is essential. Also true. The one thing that is a bit of a tragedy for me when it comes to watching foreign films, especially as a bilingual person myself, is that I know that there are some phrases and idioms in other languages that don't have an English equivalent, and there's like a deeper emotional punch that is missing in just the translation, even if the acting itself is entirely faithful to how it was acted out in the original. And it breaks my heart. It really does break my heart sometimes. Because there's some movies where like I'll hear a line in French and I'm like, oh, dang. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. But then I'm reading the subtitles and I was like, dang, no, it's not. It's close, but it's not quite. Like there's no way to like I would have to paint a word picture in order to explain why that hit so hard in like its original language and why it's missing in the current English, you know. This is a stupid example, but Naruto's catchphrase in Japanese has no English equivalent. Yeah. Isn't that why they just say it in the dub, if I recall correctly? Or no, he just says believe it in the dub over and over again because the catchphrase doesn't have an English equivalent. Yeah. There was another great example too that somebody had pulled from a song, if I recall correctly, and it had to do with like a Spanish song. Believe it. It had to do with like a Spanish song, and I think the translation is like "I miss you." But the literal like word for word translation would be "You are missing from me," and it just, even if giving it that, like making like a editorial choice or a creative choice to translate it that way in the literal way instead of like the way like it's communicated or used, just has like a way harder impact, I feel. Especially when you have a scene with like high emotional tension and like meaning and profound like depth between characters, like to say like, and then the character says, "I miss you." and in the original language, it's more beautiful than just "I miss you." You know, like that's the part that breaks my heart about not being able to understand a movie in the language that it's made in. And shoot, who knows? Maybe I'll start learning like 6 different languages so I can appreciate all movies in the languages that they originally are made in. Maybe that's my next mission, is to fully lock into being a multilingual god. I mean, I do all the translation myself on all of my re-releases in other countries. That'd be kind of a huge flex. This guy's stand-up routine is on here? Bruh. Latin Blood, The Ballad of Ney Matogrosso. From a repressive childhood to artistic revolution. Oh, interesting. Who's this diva? There's a crack in everything. Okay, more music-related stuff. We have until August. Has 2 fans. 21 5 stars. What on earth is this? Castration Movie Anthology 2, The Best of Both Worlds. This is what girls do for each other. In New York, Circle tries to leave a trans separatist cult. Yo, what? What did I just stumble across? What a bonkers concept. Right next to Tooth Jerry. Hey, maybe it's peak. It's got 3.9 and 51 fans. 58 fans. The Ballad of Wallace Island. I feel like I know this guy. Where do I know him from? Usually get glazed on Letterboxd, low-key. Trans movies usually get glazed on Letterboxd. Is that why I Saw the TV Glow got a bunch of hype? Some of them are genuinely good though. Because that would make sense for some of the. Because it does feel like sometimes low key, yeah. Sometimes it does feel like if you're trying to like tackle a subject matter that a lot of movies avoid, then like you automatically get like points for how good it is just for trying it, even if the execution is lacking in some areas, which I understand and I respect it to a certain degree. Martin Scorsese loved it. Hey, something about that movie I will say. That movie was beautifully shot. That was a very interestingly shot, like very creatively shot, I should say, movie. I feel like there was not a lot in that movie that I have seen shot in that way before. And I thought the premise was a little hard to follow in the second act and the third, going into the third, but it was cool from what I remember of it. I love the visuals and the concept, even if the story felt kind of empty. Yeah, especially in that like the setup felt super interesting. I was locked in, and I was kind of waiting for them to do something with it in the second act, and it wasn't coming. And I was like, okay, maybe in the third act. And then when she, the other character comes back, and I was like, oh, okay, now we're really gonna get into it. And then it didn't happen, and I was like, what? I don't really know what's going on here now. But it's not what I expected. The less hole. Have they said what their next movie is? Because they did something about a carnival prior to TV Glow, right? Oh, we're all going to the World's Fair. I haven't seen this one. I don't know if it's any good. It's an adaptation of a graphic novel, I believe. For their next one or this one? It's okay. It's okay. Dang. Yeah. Well, that's exciting. I'm optimistic about that. It's probably going to be pretty cool. I feel like maybe like I don't know. There's something that happens with movies. I think there's a trend with movies that I think is very different from how it trends with music, because like if you think back to like all of like the big artists in like the early 2000s, 2010s, and you're wondering like, okay, what's the hype? I don't get it. Why does everybody like your stuff? You need to listen to those first two albums to understand. You need to listen to the debut and then the sophomore album in order to understand why there's so much hype behind certain artists musically. But then for directors, I feel like it's like it starts at like feature film 3. Like very rarely do I find that like right from the get-go they're putting out hitters on hitters on hitters. But I would say that like feature film 2 and 3 start there and then watch until either 4 or 5. Usually 4 or 5 is their magnum opus and it's the best thing they ever made as a director. Yeah, Lynch came out swinging, but yeah, like Lynch came out swinging, and then I would argue that Tarantino, although arguably he had a bunch of other projects before Reservoir Dogs, he came out swinging. Nolan, I think there's a very compelling argument for Nolan coming out swinging. He did The Following, but then nobody really like pays attention to that one. That was like his first movie. His second and third were Memento, which was really good. Never mind. Because then he did the Batman ones right after Memento. So then he kind of tanked a little bit. Christopher Nolan. Yeah, Jordan Peele's first movie, Get Out as your opener also came out swinging. Us follow-up was still really strong. I personally was a big fan of Nope as well too after that. So there are some that like can start out banging and keep banging. But usually it's like movie 2 and afterwards, like between 2 and 5. Somewhere in there is the best movie they ever made, usually, for directors. And that's kind of what you look for in order to understand the hype behind them. I need to rewatch Nope. I didn't like it, but when I saw it, but I think I'd like it more now. Yeah, I was a big fan of it when I saw it, but I think I'd like it even more on a second watch because I think there's probably a bunch of stuff that I missed initially that I would catch this time. Oh no, you're good, Drayden. Yeah, you're right. It has been a while now. All right then, we'll wrap up. Max and I will probably wrap up the short list here in person, but thanks for modding. So have a good night, and then also have a good night to everybody who joined the stream from the raid or just kind of popped in because they were curious. Hopefully y'all are interested enough to join same time next week and check out more of the projects that we're working on. But thank you, and have a good night, everybody. See ya, suckers. Good night, gamers. Night, Max.